What kind of message would you like to send to all of the students at my school?
Well, again, I have to repeat and repeat and repeat. Stop the hatred. Stop the prejudice. We are all alike. We are all human beings, regardless what we look on the outside, how we look, whatever the prejudice for color, race, religion, for whatever reason, inside, we all have the same blood. We are all human beings. And we all pray that this will never ever happen, because we know now in the Holocaust 11 million innocent people were murdered. 6 million were Jewish people, 5 million were other minorities. Anybody who did not fit the perfect race that Hitler tried to create was brutally murdered.
Can you please tell me what is a gas chamber?
The gas chambers were first started in Auschwitz, Birkenau. They were actually killing factories. What it looked like was like a bath, a shower room. Transports were arriving, were taken to a shower room. They were told they were going to get cleaned up and get a shower. They had to undress. They were put into that one room. The doors were closed tight, and instead of water coming out from the shower head, poisoned gas was coming down, and people suffocated in that room. A very slow, miserable death. We in Terezin had gas chambers. They were being built. We knew they were under construction. Some of us even had to help with the groundwork building. We knew they were going to be operational by May 11th. Our camp was liberated on May 7th, 4 days before we knew, before they were going to be operational.
How did you survive the Holocaust?
Well, I really don't have a direct answer. Maybe it was fate or luck or God's will. Alone, I could have never done it. Fortunately, I had the help of some good friends. We helped each other. I helped some helped me. And again, many times it was luck. I was on a transport of 5,000 Czech Jews being taken to Auschwitz to be killed there all on one day, the night of March 7th. And by a miracle, it turned out there were 5,004 names on that list. 4 had to be taken out. I was one of the 4 lucky ones. And there were many, many instances like that, every day something else. And all I can only say, it was luck, fate, or God's will that I'm here now and can talk about it.
How did you get your life started in America?
Well, how did I get started? It wasn't easy. I had to go to work. I didn't speak the language. I had to learn the language. It was very hard to find a job where I was still not well enough. I needed something where I could sit and not need the language. There were very few jobs of that kind, but I was lucky to find one as alteration hand, which means in a dress shop where you changed the clothes, you needed a hem shortened or a dress seam let out or something like that. For that I could sit, and I didn't need the language. And slowly but surely I learned the language, I got better jobs and got started, but it took a long, long time to get well again.
Were some of the bystanders Jewish?
Bystanders? No. All Jewish people were taken to concentration camps in Czechoslovakia and other countries. The bystanders were non-Jewish people who were afraid to help. There were some very brave people who did help either take a child into hiding or helped giving false paper, or helped in an escape. Those were the brave, brave people. Bystanders, unfortunately, was the majority, and some, I can understand that they were afraid to help because they might endanger themselves and their families by doing it. Yet, thank God, there were even some brave people.
Why do you think there are Holocaust deniers out there?
Why, I don't know, but they are, and there's a big group, and they are growing, and they're all very intelligent people. There is a professor at Northwestern University in Illinois who teaches his students that the Holocaust never happened. I think he's also on internet teaching. But we know that it happened. We, the survivors, are the witnesses. And I know of a man who was in the American Army. When the American Army liberated a camp, he was in the army with, at that time, General Eisenhower. And they walked into the camp, and with his own eyes, he saw what happened. And he's going to schools, teaching the students about what happened as a witness, an American Army soldier. He witnessed the atrocities, dead bodies walking into a concentration camp. He's not Jewish. His own brother, who was also in the army, became a Holocaust denier. For whatever reason, nobody can understand that. He claims that the Holocaust never happened. And I have no explanation why people would deny a fact where 11 million people were brutally murdered, to say that this never happened. So we, the survivors, are now the last generation of witnesses, and that's why we are trying, as long as we can, to tell and teach about it. Because after us, we depend on the new generation and our children, what we call the second generation. And they are helping us now, telling the stories, what had happened, which they heard from us, their parents.
You have brought something here to show my school. Can you show me it?
Yes, I brought along the star. We were identified by wearing the Jewish star at all times, which we had to wear on the left side of our outer garment at all times, and on it says in German, Jude. This star, when the law came out that we have to wear this, my father had to go to Gestapo headquarters. Gestapo was the German secret police, and there he had to buy the stars, 3 per each person in the family. And they were on the side, it was like half a centimeter open, and we had to turn it over and sew it, because if this would sort of frizzle out and it wouldn't look right, they would kill you right away for that. So as you will talk to survivors who still might have their own star, you will see on the other side it has a lining. This happens to be the star I had on a shirt that I had at time of liberation. It isn't the original one that I started out with. This is on somebody's clothes that I got in the camp. And then I brought along, that I showed before, money that was in Terezin. At the time, Terezin was used for a make-believe village where the Red Cross was invited to show them how well the Jewish people live. And a make-believe village was created, and in that also a bank. And for the bank, false money was printed. And I showed you at that time in the class the 100 kronen, which kronen was the Czech denomination, and on the other side is Moses with the 10 Commandments. This was used during that make-believe village.
Thank you very much for sharing this to my school.
Thank you very much for inviting me and having such good questions. You were just great.